I'm here with Sophie Darlington, who's the Director of Photography, and Faith Musembi, who's the field producer and the producer and director, especially for episode 2
Yeah.
of National Geographic's Lion, produced by BBC Studios' Natural History Unit for streaming on Disney Plus. Now, Sophie Darlington is a BAFTA award-winning filmmaker who is well known for her ability to capture exceptional emotional behavioural content. And Faith has founded the Nuru Film Institute, which is a Masai Mara based training hub that builds up African conservation and wildlife storytellers. So, Sophie, I'm going to start with you. You've been studying lion behaviour now for decades. How did that experience benefit? What did that bring to making Lion? And what camera techniques did you use to capture their sense of loss and curiosity, but also some of their individual personality traits?
So, Lisa, I have been filming lions, you're right, for a really long time. And I hope what it brought was experience. The more you know, the more you can anticipate behaviour. And I count myself very lucky. I've been involved with something like, 12 or 13 lion films in my life. And I think that accrued behaviour really stacks up and helps you anticipate what's going to go on. It's always like a game of chess, isn't it? You're always like, oh, what are they going to do? And trying to get emotionally involved with an animal is quite hard, especially an animal who you can't get into their head. You have to try and imagine what they're thinking, which I'm not. I try really hard. I often get it wrong, but I think the most important way of doing that is to actually get to where they are. So our whole team used cameras that were specially low and mounted to be at lion eyesight, so you could engage and get right into their eyes. And we held very long takes, so instead of quick cuts and moving all over the place, we held shots so that you could really feel that lion's emotions.
And I wondered as well. You do want the audience to see their own some of their own emotions and reactions, but how do you sort of balance that between they are wild animals?
Well, there is a bit of anthropomorphizing, which I think is fine, but that's, I think, entirely intentional. What we wanted with this incredible series is to dramatically, it's a true story, by the way. It's a story that I've dreamt of telling my entire filming life. But I guess what we're trying to do is just get the audience to invest, right, and to engage with the lions. And we all have dogs and cats, or we know people who've had dogs and cats, and essentially, we're kind of using those techniques to try and get people to be involved and to care, because ultimately, if they care, that's what we want when they come away from this series.
And in many ways, the family dynamics mirror our own.
Yes.
You see a mother's nurturing and sacrifice for her son, but also some sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
Why was it important to take that angle?
I just think that we can relate to stories that we understand. So we can relate to those stories of family. We can relate, and we witnessed them. They weren't imagined. We saw a young cub born out of sync into a family, and we latched onto his story, and he told it. We just followed it. And all of those emotions that you describe that we see, I think, are really strongly felt through the use of music, the use of script, and the way we filmed the show.
And you actually said that, given all your many years of experience with lions, this was actually the most interesting pride that you've ever encountered.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because I've always dreamt of telling a male lion story, but male lions are incredibly difficult to follow after they've left their natal pride. And this time, however it turned out, we got lucky. We had serendipity on our side, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the kind of story that we could have never pitched,
Yeah.
because male lions are very difficult to follow through the life cycle, because what happens is they're born into a natal pride and then they have to disperse. That's how nature intended it for it to be. So to follow a male lion that's uncolored, it's really impossible.
Yeah.
And we got that story, so that's really quite remarkable.
And Faith, the fight between the siblings, going back to that sibling rivalry, happened quickly, very fast. How did you actually capture that?
It happens very quickly on screen, yes, but it's something we were anticipating, because we were in consultation with lion researchers in the area. So we knew, because of the stage where they were at in their development, that that fight was coming. Their dads would kick them out. It's how nature intended it. They're meant to go out and disperse. So we did the best we could. I mean, Sophie, as our director of photography, made sure that we've got the right camera teams on location. So we had the long lens from the ground. We also had another team with a moving camera, because lions are constantly in motion, and we wanted to create that sense that we're moving with them. So as we couldn't predict when the fight would happen, but when it did, we had two cameras on location, and we were able to what we call cross shoot. And just how everything came together was really quite serendipitous.
It was amazing.
And we were able to get that really intense, frenzied moment from two different angles, and we cut it together, and it is what it is on episode 2.
And there was a lot of suspense, dramatic pauses, cliffhangers at the end of each episode. Why take that approach?
It's a story that's unfolding across 4 episodes, so you kind of need to leave people wanting more at the end of each episode. And also because these lions are dramatic and their lives are full of tension, and this was our way of trying to capture that in some way and keep you engaged from moment to moment, because we wanted you to feel what we felt when we were filming them.
Yeah.
I mean, there were loads of emotions, and this was how we packaged it.
And how were you actually tracking the lions, finding them to make the stories in the first place?
This is fun.
Yeah.
So we had a spotter vehicle with guides who work in that area, but then we also had the legendary film driver Sami Monene driving Sophie mostly. And we would divide and conquer. So we would set out together, and it was like a military operation.
Completely.
Because we would know, or we would try find out where they were seen the day before. And then we would, on this map, Sammy and the guides would chat and go, all right, well, you'll go over here and I'll go over here. And we would track them like that, because we didn't have any collared lion in our pride. So it was a matter of we had to spot them. We didn't have a device that's telling us where they are.
And they could be in a huge area. I mean, really, really large areas. So it was always, there was an element of competition, which I quite liked. It was like who was, and it was mainly Faith or Sammy, to be fair.
No, absolutely not. The competition was between Sophie and Sammy. Because they've worked together for a long time.
Sammy always won. He's brilliant.
Yeah. And so they would both be, I mean, and they're both brilliant, really quite brilliant in spotting lions. I spot rocks. So between the two of them, they take turns with who spotted the lions first.
Yeah, it was fun.
And if you could each pinpoint one significant anecdote, your biggest challenge while filming this series, what would it be?
I think for me, I mean, there were so many moments being there the first day, seeing Kiongozi Kyo and seeing him come, with Summer and realizing this could be a story. And the challenge was, would he survive? Would he make it? Honestly, it's so hard for a lion in modern day Kenya and modern day on this continent. It's tough to be a lion. And so I think our biggest challenge was, would our hero survive?
We had different challenges during the different phases of production, but I'd have to say the hardest challenge, far and away, was learning how to ID the lions, because they seem to all look the same.
And what is the ultimate purpose of Lion? What do you want viewers to take away?
I think that what we would love is if we could get people to fall in love with them the same way we fell in love. If they cared and respected them, like we had such a privilege, Lisa, to film them over almost 4 years. And if we can get people to care about them, then I think we've done our job really well.
Thank you. Thanks, Sophie and Faith.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.